Hello friends, welcome to the e-content for postgraduate classes. It is an initiative of Department of Higher Education, Government of Madhya Pradesh. So friends, in this module I will discuss about the topic reaction mechanism, structure and reactivity. This topic belongs to the paper title Organic Chemistry First of paper second of MSc first semester chemistry coursework. So my name is Nandakumar and I am Assistant Professor, Government Indira Gandhi Home Science Girls PG College Schedule. Students, I believe that you have a basic idea of electrophile, nucleophile, reagent, substrate and functional groups. And after completing this module, you will be able to differentiate between the different type of organic reactions. So let's start our topic. What are organic reactions? Organic reactions are chemical reactions which involve organic compounds. The knowledge of organic reactions is required in the synthesis of useful chemical compounds such as polymers, dyes, drugs, perfume, cosmetics, fertilizers and food preservatives. So students, organic reactions are classified into 5 different categories. First is addition reaction, second is substitution reaction, third is elimination reaction, fourth is rearrangement reaction, fifth is oxidation and reduction reaction. So in this whole lecture, I will give a brief review of these reactions. Now let's start one by one. First is addition reaction. So in addition reaction, what happens? Two or more than two molecule or species combine to form a larger molecule. This reaction is the characteristics of compound having multiple bonds, just like alkyne, alkene, aldehyde, ketone, nitrile, etc. In this reaction, there is an increase in number of groups attached to the substrate, and also there is a decrease in the degree of unsaturation of the substrate. Addition reaction can be classified into two different types. First is polar addition, second is non-polar addition reaction. Polar addition reaction take place in the polar medium, while non-polar addition reaction take place in the non-polar medium. The polar medium help to break the reagent into two parts, electrophile and nucleophile, while the non-polar medium does not help them to break into this type of intermediates. Non-polar media help in the homolytic fission of the reagent and form free radicals. So free radical addition takes place in the non-polar medium. The electrophile and nucleophile are the two intermediate formed in the polar media. Hence, the attack of the electrophile on the substrate will lead to the electrophilic addition reaction, while the attack of the nucleophile to the substrate lead to the nucleophilic addition reaction. Cycloaddition reaction is also a non-polar addition reaction. We will discuss each reaction step by step in the next slides. Electrophilic addition reaction. As the name says that it is electrophilic addition reaction, so in first step, electrophile is added to the substrate. For this reaction, our substrate should be nucleophilic in nature, or substrate should be electron-rich system. So we can take alkene having the electron donating group. It is a very good substrate for the electrophilic addition reaction because the electron donating group make the alkene electron rich. Now the electrophile will attack on this electron system and form this type of carbocation, and this carbocation will be attacked by the nucleophile and form this substrate or this compound. The example of this reaction is addition of HBr to cyclohexene. Cyclohexene has a pi electron system and this system behave like a nucleophile. HBr in presence of polar medium get break into proton and Br negative anion. Proton is electrophilic in nature, so this pi bond attack on this proton and form this type of carbocation, and this carbocation will be attacked by the bromide anion and form cyclohexyl bromide. So in this reaction, first step is the attack of the proton by the alkene. So it is also called electrophilic addition reaction. Next is acid catalyzed hydration of alkene. So in this reaction, alkene is a nucleophilic in nature and it is hydrated in presence of acid. Acid donates proton in the medium. So proton is electrophilic in nature. So alkene attack on this proton and form this type of carbocation, and this carbocation is further attacked by the water and form the alcohol. Next is nucleophilic addition reaction. As the name says that it is nucleophilic addition reaction, so nucleophile will attack on the substrate. Our substrate should be electron poor or electron deficient system. So we can take pi bond attached with electron withdrawing group. So this electron withdrawing group make this alkene electron deficient. So this electron deficient alkene is a very good contributor for the nucleophilic addition reaction. Or we can also take carbonyl compound. So in carbonyl compound, this carbon oxygen bond is polar in nature. This oxygen has a partial negative charge and this carbon has a partial positive charge. So this nucleophile will attack on this carbon and form this type of anion, and this anion will further attack by electrophile and form our compound. So the example of this nucleophilic addition reaction is addition of cyanide to the acetone. Acetone has a carbonyl group, and this carbonyl group has a property that oxygen has negative charge and carbon has positive charge. So the cyanide ion will attack on the carbon and form this type of oxide, and this oxide will attack by the proton and form cyanohydrine compound. Next is nucleophilic addition of phenyl lithium to aldehyde. It is also an example of nucleophilic addition reaction. So in this reaction, what happens? Phenyl lithium is a organometallic compound having negative charge on phenyl and positive charge on lithium. So this negative charge phenyl act as a nucleophile. It attack on the carbonyl carbon and form this type of product. It is addition product. We have seen that in all the reaction, the geometry of the reactant gets changed in the product. In the reactant, the geometry of the compound is planar, and in the product it becomes tetrahedral. So the geometry gets changed in the reaction. Next is free radical addition reaction. So in this reaction, what happens? In presence of non-polar medium or in presence of solvent like benzene, hexane, or in presence of light, what happens? The reagent get homolytically broken and form the radicals. Just like if Br2 is taken in the non-polar medium, then we have bromine radical. So similarly, if we take A2 as a molecule, then in presence of light or in presence of non-polar medium, what happens? This A2 become homolytically cleaved and we have A radicals. This A radical will attacked by the alkene and form the another intermediate. This intermediate will be further attacked by the reagent and form this type of addition product. The example of this reaction is the addition of HBr to the alkene in presence of peroxide. So what happens? In presence of light, the peroxide break into two parts which are OH radical and OH radical. It is homolytic fission which lead to the formation of two OH radical. So one OH radical extract this H from the HBr and form water and Br radical. This Br radical will attack on the alkene and form this type of radical, Br carbon carbon, this radical, and this radical will again extract the H from the water which is formed in the previous step and form this type of alkyl halide. So it is a free radical addition reaction. It is also called anti-Markovnikov addition. Next is cycloaddition reaction. So in cycloaddition reaction, what happens? Two or more molecules may combine to form a cyclic compound, and here the transition state of the system is cyclic transition state in which bond making and bond breaking take place simultaneously in a concerted cyclic pathway. So if we have two substrate, then what happens? This bond will form, this bond will break, this bond will form this bond will form, this bond will break, and what happen? A cyclic transition state will take place, and in which the bond making and bond breaking take place simultaneously. Hence, it is called cycloaddition reaction. And in this reaction, a cyclic compound will be formed. So, cyclic transition state is very essential in this cycloaddition reaction, and a cyclic product should be formed. So, it is also a non-polar addition reaction. The example of this reaction is Diels-Alder reaction. So, in this reaction, what happened? We have two components. First is diene and second is dienophile. So, when we heat the system, what happened? Electron are delocalized and form this type of compound. So we can say that cycloaddition reaction take place in presence of light or take place in presence of heat. Heat and light are the essential condition for the cycloaddition reaction. Next is substitution reaction. So in this reaction, what happens? One atom or a group is replaced by another atom or a group in a compound. So these reactions are classified into three different types. First is nucleophilic substitution reaction. Second is electrophilic substitution reaction, and third is free radical substitution reaction. The nucleophilic substitution reaction are those reactions in which nucleophile attack on the carbon bearing the leaving group, and the leaving group leave the system and form carbon nucleophile bonds at the end. This reaction happens in the four different pathways. First is SN1 reaction, second is SN2 reaction, third is SNI reaction, fourth is SNAR reaction. SN1 reaction is also called substitution of nucleophile via unimolecular mechanism. SN2 is called substitution of nucleophile via biomolecular mechanism. SNI is called substitution of nucleophile via internal mechanism. And SNAR is called aromatic nucleophilic substitution reaction. So we will discuss each steps or each pathways one by one. First is SN1 reaction. In SN1 reaction, the rate depends upon the concentration of substrate only. So first step is basically the breaking of carbon halide bond and form this carbocation. This step is slow step because here the octet of carbon is complete, but here the octet is not complete. So reaction is moving from the complete octet to incomplete octet. So it is a slow step. And in next step, what happens? The nucleophile will attack on the carbocation and form the product. Since the carbocation is planar in nature, so there is a probability of the attack by nucleophile from both the sides. If nucleophile attack from the back side, it lead to the inversion in configuration, and if nucleophile attack from the front side, it lead to the retention in configuration. So we can say that this reaction lead to the inversion plus retention in configuration. Since the carbocation is planar in nature, so the probability of attack from the front side and back side are equal. So we can say that in this reaction, equal quantity of inversion and equal quantity of retention will take place. Further, this second step is fast step because in this reaction, in this step, the octet completion of this carbon take place, so it is fast step. This reaction are favored by the use of substrate that can form relatively stable carbocation because the first step is the formation of carbocation. So the carbocation is the most stable, then the reaction will take place in the faster manner. Further, weak nucleophile is also important factor for this reaction. If the nucleophile is weak, then the nucleophile cannot attack on the substrate, and hence the carbocation formation will take place in a very easy manner. Now, the use of highly ionizing solvent is also important in this reaction because the first step is basically the ionizing step. So the ionizing solvent will help in the ionization of this substrate, and hence this lead to the formation of carbocation. Next is SN2 reaction. In SN2 reaction, what happens? The rate depends upon the concentration of substrate and nucleophile. In this reaction, what happens? The nucleophile will attack from the back side of the carbon having the leaving group. So in this reaction, what happens? Bond making by the nucleophile to the carbon and bond breaking by the leaving group from the carbon take place simultaneously, and hence there is no intermediate form in this reaction. and it is also a single step reaction. Since the nucleophile attack from the back side, it leads to the inversion in configuration. SN2 reactions are favored by the use of relatively unhindered alkyl halides, because if the alkyl halide is unhindered, then what happens? The nucleophile can easily attack on the alkyl halides. Further, the nucleophile should be very strong, because the nucleophile is strong, then it can easily attack on the substrate. Also, a use of polar aprotic solvent is also a must in this reaction, because polar aprotic solvent will not solvate the nucleophile, and hence nucleophile will be free to attack on the substrate. Further, the concentration of nucleophile is also very important. If the concentration is very high, then the nucleophile can easily attack on the substrate. Now the next is substitution of nucleophile via internal mechanism. So this mechanism takes place in the reaction where the alcohols are converted into alkyl halides using SOCl2. So in this reaction, the rate depending upon the concentration of alcohol and concentration of SOCl2. So in this reaction, what happens? The alcohol react with SOCl2 and form this type of compound. And here what happens? This sulfur oxygen bond is single bond. The sulfur tries to form the double bond by breaking this bond, and when it forms the double bond, this Cl will leave and attack on this carbon and form this type of product. So in this reaction, you can say that the retention in configuration take place. So we can say that SNI mechanism lead to the retention in configuration. Next is aromatic nucleophilic substitution reaction. In this reaction, what happens? The nucleophile will attack on the aromatic systems. So for this reaction, aromatic system should be electron deficient in nature. So if the system are deficient in nature, then the nucleophile can easily attack on the system. So nucleophile attack on the carbon bearing the leaving group and form the sigma complex. Sigma complex is basically a resonance stabilized areninium ion. It is basically a resonance stabilized areninium ion. So from moving here to here, what happens? The aromaticity of the benzene ring get disturbed, so it is a slow step. The system move to the system having aromatic nature. So it is a fast step because the system gains the aromaticity. We can say that this reaction mechanism take place in the addition elimination pathway, because first step is basically the addition of nucleophile to the substrate and forming sigma complex, and second is elimination of leaving group to form this type of compound. The example of this mechanism is the formation of para-nitrophenol from the para-nitrochlorobenzene. So what happens in this reaction? The hydroxide ion will attack on the carbon having the leaving group and form sigma complex, and from sigma complex our compound will be formed after removing of the chloride anion. Next is electrophilic substitution reaction. So in this reaction, what happens? As the name says that electrophiles are substituted. So our system should be electron rich in order to attack by the electrophile. So we have taken benzene. Benzene is an electron rich system. So on the system, electrophiles are attacked and a sigma complex is formed. Sigma complex is basically resonance stabilized areninium ion. Now when this system gain its aromaticity, this proton will eliminate and form our product. So in this reaction, what happens? This electrophile is substituted and the proton is eliminated from the system. Or we can say that the proton is eliminated and electrophile is added to the system, hence it is called substitution reaction. The example of this reaction is the nitration of toluene to form trinitrotoluene. TNT is basically an explosive. Toluene is nitrated in presence of nitric acid and sulfuric acid to form para-nitrotoluene, which on further nitration will form trinitrotoluene. So in this reaction, what happens? We have electrophile which is NO2 positive. So NO2 positive is electrophile which attack on this carbon and form this para-nitrotoluene. This on further nitration will lead to the trinitrotoluene. Next is free radical substitution reaction. So in this reaction what happens? In presence of light, the chlorine molecule will break homolytically into chlorine radical. This chlorine radical will abstract the H from the cyclohexane and form this type of radical. Now this Cl radical will be added to the system and form chlorocyclohexane. So in this reaction what happens? The H is substituted by a chlorine, so it is also called a substitution reaction. Next is elimination reaction. In this reaction, two atoms or groups attached to the carbon of substrate molecule are eliminated. These are of type of alpha elimination, beta elimination and gamma elimination. In this reaction, we have seen that the entropy of the reaction get increased because we are moving from less number of molecule to the more number of molecules, so the entropy of the system increases. Okay, so first is alpha elimination. In this reaction, two atoms are removed from a single carbon or single atom. So the formation of dichlorocarbene from chloroform and sodium hydroxide is an example of 1-1 elimination. So in this reaction what happens? Sodium hydroxide abstract the proton and form this type of trichloromethanide anion, and from this anion when the chloride atom leaves, it leads to the formation of dichlorocarbene. So it is 1-1 elimination. Next is beta elimination. Beta elimination is also called 1-2 elimination because in this reaction two molecules or two atoms are removed from the two different carbons. The carbons are numbered as 1 and 2. So this elimination take place in 4 different pathways which are called even elimination, E2 elimination, even CB elimination and EIE elimination. Now first is even elimination. Even elimination is also called unimolecular elimination mechanism. In this reaction what happens? First the leaving group leave the system and form carbocation. This is a slow step because in this system what happens? Here the octet of all the carbon of all the atoms are complete, but here the octet of this carbon is not complete, so the system is moving from complete octet to incomplete octet, so the step is very slow step. Now the next step is very fast, and here the base abstract the beta proton and form the alkene. So this reaction can be compared with the SN1 reaction because in SN1 reaction the first step is basically formation of carbocation, and in second step the nucleophile attack the system. So we can say that for even elimination this base should be a poor nucleophile. If this is poor nucleophile, then it cannot attack on the carbocation and it will attack on this proton and form this type of alkene. So poor nucleophile and very good base are essential criteria for this elimination. The next is E2 elimination. E2 means bimolecular elimination. So the rate depends upon the concentration of substrate and concentration of base. So in this reaction what happens? The base abstract the proton and the leaving group leave the system. These two processes take place simultaneously in a concerted manner so that this occurs in a single step and form this alkene. This reaction is also called trans elimination because this leaving group and this proton which is abstracted should be in trans position, should be anti to each other, so that the elimination can occur in a very easy manner. Next is even CB elimination. It is elimination unimolecular from conjugate base. So the reaction says that the elimination will occur from the conjugate base. So for this reaction we should have a substrate which is also a good acid. So the base removes the acidic proton from the substrate and form this conjugate base. So first step is basically the acid base reaction, so it is very fast step, and form the conjugate base. The conjugate base, in the conjugate base the anion should be stabilized. So here you can see that this anion is stabilized by the resonance by this benzene rings. So it is a stable conjugate base. Now this anion will attack on this carbon and leave this hydroxide. So this step is very slow step because the leaving group is very poor leaving group. So this step is very slow step. So for this E1CB reaction, two things are very important. First is our substrate should be acidic enough, and second, the leaving group should be very poor leaving group. So the first step will be fast step and form conjugate base, and from conjugate base the leaving group leaves and form this type of alkene. Now next is internal elimination. It is also called pyrolytic syn elimination because here the beta proton and the leaving group must be syn to each other. Since it is called pyrolytic elimination, so these reactions take place in presence of heat. So ester pyrolysis or N-oxide pyrolysis or removal of HBr from alkyl halide in presence of heat are examples. Next is gamma elimination. In this reaction, what happens? The proton and the leaving group are placed at 1,3 position. So this base abstract the proton. This proton, when it removed, forms carbon ion, and this carbon ion should be stabilized by resonance or any other factor. When this carbon ion donate electron to the gamma carbon, what happen? The leaving group leaves the system. So this type of three-membered compound will form. 1,3 elimination lead to the formation of cyclopropane compound. Another thing is very important in this reaction, that elimination reaction, what happen? The geometry of the molecule get changed. So we have seen that in beta elimination, what happen? The geometry change from tetrahedral to planar system. Okay, the geometry change from tetrahedral to the planar. Next is rearrangement reaction. In this reaction, the migration of an atom or a group from one atom to another in a same molecule take place. These reactions proceed via formation of carbocation, carbon ion or radicals. The example of these reactions are Bantu rearrangement, pericyclic reactions and metathesis reactions. These reactions occur via rearrangement reactions. In this reaction, so if we take WAB as a substrate and W migrate from A to B, then we got A as a migrating origin and B as a migration terminus. The example of this reaction is pinacol rearrangement. So in this reaction we have taken pinacol as a substrate. Pinacol is basically Bantu diol and pinacolone is a ketone. So in presence of acid, what happened? Pinacol is converted into pinacolone. So what happened here is the acid, which is proton, the OH ion will attack on this proton and form OH2 group. OH2 group. This group is a very good leaving group, and when this OH2 leave the system, it will form a carbocation. When it leaves the system, it forms the carbocation. This type of carbocation is formed in this reaction. Then what happens? This methyl group will move or will migrate from here to here and form this type of intermediate. And leaving this carbocation formation. So near this carbocation we have oxygen which have lone pair. If the lone pair are donated to this carbocation, what happens? This ketonic group is formed. So we can see that the methyl group has been migrated from this carbon to this carbon. So it is a rearrangement reaction. Next is Wegener-Mirvin rearrangement. So what happened in this reaction? We have taken alcohol in presence of acid. So alcohol, the OH group has a lone pair, oxygen has a lone pair. This lone pair will attack on the proton and form OH2 as a leaving group. When OH2 leave the system, what happens? We have a carbocation formation here. Now this three-membered ring system has a carbocation at the adjacent position. So due to the high strain on the ring tries to release the strain and form four-membered ring via ring expansion. When the ring expands, what happens? This will form a bond with this carbocation. So what happens in this reaction? We can say that this methyl and this ring get expanded and form this type of carbocation. Now this three-membered ring has also strain, so it also get expand and attack on this carbocation, and when it attack on this carbocation, a new carbocation form here, and on this carbocation this ring attack and release its strain, and when it do this, a new carbocation form here, and similarly this ring get expand and a new carbocation form here, and this ring get expand and new carbocation form here, and ultimately what happen? This type of intermediate will form. And on this carbocation, this water molecule will attack again and form the product. So it is basically the expansion of the ring which is the driving force of the reaction. Three-membered ring is very strained ring and it expand and form four-membered ring. It is also a rearrangement reaction. Next is Beckmann rearrangement. So in Beckmann rearrangement, what happens? The oxime get converted into amide. In oxime we have OH. This OH is a lone pair, and this lone pair will take the proton from acid and form OH2. And this OH2 will leave the system, and what happens? The group anti to OH will migrate and form this type of seven-membered system. This type of seven-membered ring system. Now on this carbocation, water molecule will attack and form this type of system, this type of compound, N double bond carbon and OH. This is basically iminol, and this iminol will undergo tautomerization and form the caprolactam. So it is a rearrangement reaction. This reaction is very important in the formation of nylon 6 from caprolactam. Next is oxidation and reduction reaction. So in reference to organic molecule, oxidation is a process by which a carbon atom gains bond to more electronegative element, more commonly oxygen, while the reduction is a process by which a carbon atom gain bond to less electronegative element, most especially or most commonly hydrogen. So if we take alkane and add oxygen to it, then what happens? The oxidation state of this carbon change from 0 to +1 when we add one oxygen to this carbon. Now when we add another oxygen to the carbon and form aldehyde, then what happens? The oxidation state change from +1 to +2. Then on further oxidation, what happens? We will have +3 oxidation state. Then after this, further oxidation lead to +4 oxidation state. So on moving from 0 to +4, we are doing oxidation, or we can reverse this process by reducing this carbon. We reduce this carbon using addition of hydrogen and form this type of carboxylic acid, and on this addition of hydrogen lead to formation of aldehyde, and on this addition of hydrogen lead to formation of this alcohol, and further reduction of this alcohol will lead to formation of alkene. So we can say that addition of oxygen will lead to oxidation, while removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen will lead to reduction. The example of these reactions are reduction of acetone with sodium borohydride is an example of reduction reaction, because in this reaction this acetone is converted into alcohol. So here the oxidation state of carbon is +2, and here the oxidation state of carbon is +1. So we are moving from plus 2 to plus 1 state, so it is a reduction reaction. So it is a reduction reaction. Next is a ozonolysis of alkene. So in ozonolysis of alkene, we are adding ozone to this alkene, and this ozone, when added to the alkene, lead to the formation of this type of aldehydes. So here also the oxygen are added to the system, so it is also called oxidation reaction. Next is Birch reduction. So in this reaction, what happen? We are adding electron using the electron rich metals to the benzene ring. This benzene ring take H from this alcohol and form this type of reduced substrate, reduced compound. So in this compound we have extra hydrogen as compared to the benzene ring, or we can say that the benzene ring get reduced to the 1,4-cyclohexadiene system. So it is also called a reduction reaction. So for further reading, a student can go through these books: Organic Chemistry by Paula Bruce, Organic Chemistry by Peter Sykes, Organic Chemistry by Claydon, and Advanced Organic Chemistry by Carey and Sandberg. You can also use Jerry March Advanced Organic Chemistry. Now you can assess yourself. Now you can solve this question after completing this module. So thank you friends for listening my lecture.